excited to be here before all of you this afternoon. As you are aware, today's meeting represents a major milestone in the history of Fox Valley Mall as we formally embark on the most significant redevelopment of the campus since it was originally developed in the mid-1970s. As we all know, we are living in unprecedented times. In addition to the risks we are facing on a daily basis, the retail industry is undergoing an unparalleled paradigm shift in how consumers shop and spend their hard-earned dollars. The combination of the economic forces associated with consumer shifts to online shopping with the reality of COVID-19 have created a challenging environment for both mall owners and their tenants. This afternoon, we're going to share with you how Fox Valley Mall plans to start its evolution toward its mixed-use future while operating and maintaining its position as one of the city's most important commercial assets. I've been redeveloping enclosed mall assets for my entire career. I was specifically brought in by Centennial 18 months ago to help lead the effort here in Aurora. We have assembled a best-in-class partnership and an extremely talented design team to help implement an amazing redevelopment project on the Fox Valley Mall campus. This afternoon, we will formally and comprehensively present our vision for adding a best-in-class residential project while continuing to operate the existing mall. It's important that Centennial undertake these changes while continuing to offer the exciting options that presently exist at the mall, the interior portions of which we have been renovating and rejuvenating since last year. Over the last year, our team and the city's dedicated staff have collaborated to produce a vision for the property that we are extremely excited about. I'm confident that all of you will also find this vision exciting and consistent with the city's vision for the Route 59 corridor. At this time, I'm pleased to introduce you to our partners, Atlantic Residential and Focus Development. Atlantic is represented this afternoon by Richard Aronson, Mitzi Jones, and Matt Shawshaw. Focus is represented by Tim Anderson, Justin Pillay, and Vicki Lee. With that, I will turn it over to Mitzi Jones with Atlantic. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, John. Good evening, everyone, or good afternoon. My name is Mitzi Jones, and I'm with Atlantic Residential. This proposed project is an exciting opportunity for our team. We feel that we are on the leading edge of a national trend of incorporating housing into the traditional commercial and retail mall environments, extending the life and success of these properties. We are able to create a live, work, play experience similar to what we see in more urban settings. The residents benefit from the walkability of the retail and restaurants, and the retail and commercial components are re-energized by the influx of the residents, their families, and friends. In the past, we've seen the desire for people to want to move away from the cities and urban areas. Today, we are seeing that people want to enjoy these same urban amenities, but from their suburban neighborhoods. We feel the Fox Valley project will achieve this. Now, to tell you a little bit more about our team, like I said, I'm with Atlantic Residential, and we're a multifamily developer and property management company with offices in the Atlanta and Chicago area. We build and manage luxury, mid and high-rise multifamily and mixed-use developments. We are committed to creating high-quality residential communities with extraordinary attention to detail, service, and community. We have developed approximately 7,000 units valued at approximately $1.5 billion. Atlantic Residential is led by brothers Richard and Andy Aronson, who started the company in 1995. Our next slide is our partner, Focus Development, who is a vertically integrated company. They're both developer and general contractor. They build everything they develop, as well as third-party GC for other developers in the Chicago area, such as Byfield and Marquette. Focus has built multifamily office and student housing projects in the Chicago area, including Evanston, Forest Park, Highland Park, and Vernon Hills. Focus is led by Tim Anderson, who started the company in 1993. To date, Focus has built approximately $1.8 billion in new developments. The Atlantic and Focus partnership goes back to about 2004. We've partnered together on about 8 projects in the Chicago area, which total approximately 2,000 units and $700 million in developed assets. A few of these projects in the Chicago area include the Reserve at Glenview, which was completed in 2015. It's a 3-story, 239-unit community. Circa 922 was completed in 2015. and it's a mid-rise community located in the West Loop neighborhood. It includes 153 units. The Parker was completed in 2016 and is a 29-story high-rise with 227 units located in the Fulton Market area. CO is in the medical district and is a 410-unit property consisting of 2 high-rise towers, fully renovated with the addition of a new amenity building. The most recent project we've completed as a joint venture with Focus is the Atworth at Melody Farms, which is located in Vernon Hills. It includes 260 units and was completed in 2018. Currently, we have another project in zoning at Hawthorne Mall in Vernon Hills with the same partnership as this project, Centennial, Atlantic, and Focus. With our collective experience and talent, we are confident this team will deliver a Class A product for the city of Aurora. We are fortunate tonight to have a great project team here with us. We have Hal Frank and Steve Bauer with MPS Law as our attorneys. Kimley Horn is our civil engineering and landscape architecture consultants. We have Mickey, Daniel, and Rory. For our architectural design team, we have Torty Gallus Partners, Mike Rawson, and Brandon Diamond. Now I'll turn it over to Brandon Diamond, who will present the project overview. Thank you.
Thank you, Mitzi. Great to be here tonight. My name is Brandon Diamond. I'm the executive director at Torty Gallus & Partners. We're based in Silver Spring, also have offices in Florida, California, and Philadelphia, and do a great amount of work in the Chicagoland area. So very much a pleasure to give you a high-level overview of our proposed initial phase of Fox Valley Mall's transformation into a vibrant and walkable destination on the Route 59 corridor. The former Sears site has opened up the opportunity for a new front door for the site, offering both substantial outdoor community space and a Main Street-oriented neighborhood or village, as discussed in the Route 59 corridor study. And if we flip to the next slide, I think it's worth just showing a couple of the high-level objectives that were talked about in the Route 59 corridor study comprehensive plan. In particular, the first one, supporting infill development. That means a great deal to us. Certainly, from our standpoint, infill development is a way of connecting some of the sort of disconnected commercial sites with large parking fields and promoting a much more walkable, vibrant neighborhood. There's certainly other objectives you see on this list about promoting new housing in a range of 3 to 8 stories, promoting compact, walkable urban design. That's something we believe in passionately, and we do in all of our projects. A downtown Main Street theme is desired, and we very much tried to articulate that in a compelling way. And outdoor gathering experiential space. You'll also notice on the right here, this is sort of a sub-area study that was done for the Fox Valley Mall site. And the plan that we're going to show you is very much in the spirit of what was contemplated here. So maybe we could flip to the next slide. So now we're looking at our specific planning solution, which has been developed over months of thoughtful engagement with city planning and zoning staff. The unique gateway position of this neighborhood development phase requires us to go above and beyond a simple Main Street concept to offer something very special in the way of great streets and public space. First, you will notice that the entry from Route 59 itself is met in the neighborhood, and that larger entry road has quickly transitioned into a much more intimate neighborhood street. But we've kept the street section rather grand because it is also the visual connection to the new front door of the mall. So we wanted to make sure that the great community space that's being created will be coming in this site here where I'm circling, that we have a great window to the commercial area and the outdoor community space while still providing a great streetscape for the neighborhood. This is a village of 3-story buildings, and there, between the 3 buildings that we're looking at, is about 304 units. Maybe we can flip to the next slide. So talking about this, and you can see, I think there's a few points that I may refer to here in the plan while we're talking. There are a number of community spaces that are being created, very often with residential neighborhoods. Many of what we call amenity spaces are hidden behind the buildings and are exclusively seen and enjoyed by the residents. This plan seeks to create connectivity and visibility of those park spaces more to the neighborhood. So they have a public face. Some of them are very much accessible. For instance, the main street we were talking about has a linear community park with a series of activation nodes that Dan will talk about shortly. But even the main amenity terrace has a view through this paseo to the main community space. There are pocket parks that are revealed to the street, even a dog run that is revealed to the street. So almost all of the public space we're creating, whenever possible, we use it to help create neighborhood, not just amenities for the building. Specific to this architecture that we're looking at, you can see this is the 3-story architecture we were talking about. It's a high quality masonry palette. And we've really strived to get a nuanced urban rhythm to the street. And we've done this by, if you start to look at some of the typical buildings, breaking it into shorter vertical street facades. Every unit has a balcony, and we use this kind of balcony articulation to break it into more of almost a townhouse rhythm. Even some of the fenestration accentuates the sort of the vertical feeling of the facades. And then the ground floor of these units, wherever possible, has dooryards that add a sense of address to the street. So the building engages the street whenever possible. I think we can flip to one more here. And this is an interesting moment between buildings B and C. You can see a little arrow on the side where we're looking at 2 buildings that share their main lobby next to the community gathering space near the mall. There is a paseo between them that leads to the main pool terrace. And you see these lobbies start to contribute again to the public space. On the grand lobby here on the left, for instance, actually has an amenity suite that pulls all the way through to the pool. And wherever possible, it's about creating public space that is enjoyed by the entire neighborhood. You're going to see this a little bit more as we go through the presentation and talk about the landscape in more detail. But at this point, we just wanted to give you a very high level overview of the architecture. And I know we'll be, in subsequent meetings talking about it in more detail. So thank you very much. And I think at this point, Kimberly Horn is going to speak to the site plan further.
Thanks, Brandon. My name is Mickey Walker. I'm the civil engineer for this project, and here today to go through the site planning in a little bit more detail with you. As Brandon mentioned, we do have a village of 3-story buildings. The first at the north side of the site is Building A. It has approximately 87 units. And we are working to achieve a 1.5 parking ratio with one of the spaces per unit covered. We have 27 tuck under garages within Building A, and then we have another 60 spaces in a covered parking deck just north of the building. The 0.5 ratio is provided as street parking. We have it surrounding the site, which allows numerous entrance points into the site, depending on what the use is for those street parking spaces, whether overnight guests or someone that might be running into the lobby. Similar for buildings B and C, and to orient you, north is to the right, just so that you can see a better view of this area. Building B has 92 units and building C has 125 units. Together, they have 217 covered spaces, with 44 of those being tuck under parking garages. Similar fashion, the surface parking is provided interior to the buildings, along the pool amenity area and along the street, providing additional access points for someone entering and going to all different points of the building. Similar to what Brandon mentioned, we have quite a few amenity spaces, and I will turn it over to Daniel on our team to go through those areas.
Thank you. Yes, again, my name is Daniel Grove with Kimberly Horn. I'm the project landscape architect. And building on what the rest of the team discussed, I just want to walk you through a few other perspective views that identify key spaces in the development. So the view that we are looking at here is along that east-west Main Street. So we're looking west towards the mall, and you see, building A to the right side. And what we're creating here is, a vibrant urban character along this Main Street with street trees and planters, some decorative paving, on-street parallel parking, which helps define that environment, and decorative lighting. And on the right, you see what Brandon referred to as those dooryards for those units and the balconies for the units, some private area with walls, railings, and lush landscape, creating that separation and enhancing the environment. On the next slide, we step over to the south side of the same street. So again, we're looking west at this point, and now we're looking at this linear park space that's on the south side of the street. So this is about 30 feet in width between the building to the sidewalk. I forgot to mention on the previous slide, those sidewalks are 10 feet wide, so nice wide areas for people to move through. And in this linear park, we've got a series of outdoor rooms or spaces. Within that, there's a mix of covered areas with pergolas and shade features, open air spaces, range of seating areas. And what we've focused on in this view is a central feature that is a slightly raised fitness deck. So through that, we've got different places where people can gather, meet up, and spend time, and it enhances that streetscape leading into the mall. If we go to the next slide, now we're up towards the mall, looking back on that Main Street, and you see Building A on the left with its entry lobby, and Building B on the right, and you see one of those shade structures, pergola structures, kind of in the mid-ground, and again, that strong urban feel that leads into the mall itself. If we move to the next slide, this is one of those spaces that Brandon referred to. This is on the west side of the property. We've got a jog in the building that creates this pocket park. We have lined the sidewalk again with landscape, low wall and fence structure to create some separation and privacy. And then internal to that space, we've got a shade structure, a pergola feature, seating opportunities. There's grills for the residents so they can have cookouts and gatherings, creating that vibrant outdoor space that's part of the residence, but also is visible and create some vibrancy again out on the streetscape. If we go to the next slide, this is looking at the internal amenity courtyard that's between buildings B and C. Clearly the pool is the main focus of that feature, with seating and shade and cabanas and other amenities around that to activate the pool. You see in the background, kind of at the northeast end, and also in this slide is the kind of companion piece to the pool, which is some outdoor gathering. We envision this as, a kind of an outdoor dining, grills, bar space, seating, lounge seating, and then on the right you see kind of a multi-purpose lawn space that could be used for fitness, yoga, and also putting out lawn games and playing. So some of the outdoor amenities to serve centralized in between the buildings to serve the residents. So that's kind of the overview of the project, and we're, as we wrap up our presentation and open for questions and comments, just giving a brief overview again of the requests that we're seeking. The establishment of the special use planned development, changing the underlying zoning to R5A mid-rise multifamily dwelling district. We're asking for approval of a preliminary plan, and then approval of the final plat of first re-subdivision. So our team thanks you for your time, and we're here obviously to answer any questions that you might have.